Hello and welcome to Draw an Opera. This episode is La Traviata by Verdi. The title means The Woman Who Went Astray, and it's set in and near Paris in 1846 and 1847. Each act is a day in Violetta's life. Act 1, and we are at Violetta's party in her drawing room, where a table is set for dinner. Among the guests are Violetta's friend Flora and a baron. During the party, Alfredo is introduced to Violetta, who has asked after her every day while she was sick, and the Baron, seemingly a little jealous, tells Flora that he doesn't like Alfredo. Alfredo is asked to sing, they all join in, and then they all go off to another room to dance. But Violetta almost faints. She asks them to leave her for a minute, but Alfredo stays. He begs her to take better care of herself, as her party life will kill her. She says that she's not particularly bothered, as she thinks she won't be missed. He says that he'll miss her and has loved her for a year. Violetta is touched, but suggests that he should find someone else. After some persistence from Alfredo, she forbids him to talk of love, and he starts to leave. But then she gives him a flower to bring back when it fades. He's ecstatic, and they say goodbye, adieu. Violetta now sings one long aria about love and various emotions. The short version is Estrano, it's strange. Ah, forse lui. Ah, perhaps he is the one. Folie, joie. Folly, joy. Love is not for her, only joy. Sempre libera, always free. Suddenly she hears Alfredo under her balcony singing about love and insists that she is always free. Act 2, and we move to Violetta's country house outside Paris. This is scene 1. Alfredo sings about how happy he is, and we find out that the relationship has been going for 3 months. Anina, Violetta's maid, comes from Paris, where she, on behalf of Violetta, has been selling Violetta's possessions to pay for the house. She confesses to Alfredo, who is horrified. He plans to raise the money himself and rushes off to Paris to settle things. Violetta is surprised to hear that Alfredo has gone to Paris, and then receives a letter from Flora inviting her to a party. Having put that lifestyle behind her, she throws it aside. However, she's also visited by Alfredo's father, Giorgio. This is where the relationship starts to get a bit complicated, and Violetta and Giorgio sing a very long duet about this. Are you ready for the cut-down version? Good, pay attention. Giorgio's daughter's fiancé threatens to call off the engagement if Alfredo and Violetta continue their relationship. They must part forever. Violetta says never, she'd rather die. Giorgio tries to soothe her, saying that she'll meet someone else, and that no happiness can come from a relationship unblessed by God. Somehow, she thinks that this is true, and she can give both of Giorgio's children true happiness, but she is still distraught. She also realizes that Alfredo will not leave her easily, and she can only think of one way to dump him. She then tells Giorgio to be ready to comfort him. Violetta then writes back to Flora, accepting her invitation to the party. She then tries to write to Alfredo, but he arrives before she can finish. She lies about the letter and asks him to tell her he loves her. While he goes to meet his father, Violetta and Anina leave for Paris. A gardener gives the letter to Alfredo, who is also distraught. He also leaves for Paris later that night to the party. Act 2, Scene 2, we move to Flora's party, where there's gambling and a host of flamboyant guests. Alfredo arrives alone, and then Violetta arrives with the Baron from earlier. Violetta's worried that the Baron will start a fight with Alfredo, and begs heaven to pity her. She begs a lot during this scene, so be prepared. Alfredo is constantly winning, much to the displeasure of the Baron, and Violetta leaves for dinner, followed by Alfredo. Violetta begs Alfredo to leave before there's any trouble, but he says only if she comes with him. She says that she can't, as she's sworn an oath. We know that the oath was to Giorgio, but she lies and tells Alfredo that it's to the Baron, and then she is forced to say that she loves the Baron. Alfredo then announces to everyone that Violetta has squandered all her money on him, and throws it back in her face. Giorgio, having arrived to try and reason with Alfredo, is ashamed at his actions, and so is everyone else. Alfredo sings about his mixed emotions, the guests criticise him, the Baron sings about duels and honour, and Giorgio about Violetta's sacrifice. Finally, Violetta has a serious meltdown, and the audience are made well aware of this. Then everyone leaves. Act 3, and we're in Violetta's bedroom. It's a few weeks later, and she is dying of TB. The doctor tells Violetta that she's improving, but then says to Anina that she only has a few hours. Violetta hears that Alfredo is returning to her, and he then arrives, and they sing that nothing can part them. However, Violetta is very ill, and after lots of frantic, pessimistic singing, she suddenly starts to feel more invigorated and feels life returning. Oh gioia! Oh joy! Then she dies. The end. Thank you for watching this episode. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and subscribe to see more opera videos. Let me know in the comments below which one you'd like me to do next. Thank you again and have a great day.